like, they have to feel like they're not afraid of anything.
No, but again, no complacency. That's what they have to aim for here in game number 2. For EG, I hope there's been a bit said there because they kind of fell away without putting up too much of a challenge in game number 1. And honestly, the way that they finish off this season, they probably deserve a little bit more than that at this point. So we'll see. We'll see what game 2 brings. We're into the bans, and we are going to see an Ashe ban here over towards Pushu. Kassadin taken out there as well towards Peke. On the other side, Wicked not going to get Zac again.
Really surprised to see that Ashe banned out. I mean, the initiate was amazing for them. Every time Pushu arrowed, it was perfect. And I guess they just really don't want to go up against that right now. I guess they want a particular composition that they don't want to get countered by that. And Kassadin, again, got to take it away from expected. Don't want to let him play it. And of course, like we're expecting, honestly, Jarvan the 4th going to be banned out. You don't want to see Snoopy on that champion. Yeah,
we will see the Shen taken away as well. Twisted Fate was the final ban for EG, which left Aatrox open and Wicked having no hesitation whatsoever to lock that in as EG's first pick. On the other side though, Fnatic also not really having any problems. They're going straight for Kennen Ahri.
I wonder if that will for sure be Aatrox on the top. Wicked obviously does play him quite a bit, but Snoopy, he's been so much more aggressive lately, and that could be like a secret weapon they've been working on if they do get that champion. So curious to see how that's going to happen. But yeah, Wicked was so phenomenal on that Kennen yesterday in their best of 3. It was just, it worked out so perfectly for him, and it was so sublime. And then you look at Xpeke, gonna have that Ahri again. That's already a lot of magic damage. It's a lot of control. And EG, they need to pick very wisely here.
Well, interesting that Fnatic, as you know, having last pick, decided to take that Ahri away. I think the biggest point is that obviously you're going to have to pick a mid laner first as the blue side, and Ahri seems like the safest pick out of all of them right now.
Yeah, easily. I mean, how do you gank an Ahri that's level 6? I mean, if you do have hard CC, that ultimate gets you away with those 3 charges, and why not pick it up? It kind of makes EG, or gives Froggen particularly, not the chance to go for it.
Are they going to go for an Amumu in the jungle?
Oh my God.
We are going to see it. We are going to see the Amumu in the jungle here for Snoopy. We'll see the Zyra as well. So no Sona with this one, which kind of surprised me a little bit from their side of things, but still, that's kind of easy to, you know, get that Stranglethorns in there when the Curse of the Sad Mummy is down in the first place.
The first thing I looked for after seeing that Amumu locked in was a Blitzcrank. Maybe we'll see them swap lanes again or something like that. But yeah, the Stranglethorn, the ultimate, is just so devastating. And funny enough, Pushu sat on Severe last time. He actually did play that against them, and I believe it was week number 6. That was the first time we saw Severe in the LCS in Europe at least. Didn't work out well that game. I would imagine that he would change that away.
Well, one other thing that we're going to see is the Naxxus pick up here for Fnatic, and the Varus locked in there. As I said in game number 1, that has been Pushu's go-to champion.
Yeah, he's just done so phenomenally well on it. Why not keep using that champion? Ashe, as Kobe was saying, first time he's played it here in the entirety of the summer split, did fantastic on it, and I'm imagining he's been working on his Varus a little bit more as well. And EG, I'm trying to think, what might they follow this up with? They already have the Amumu ultimate, so it kind of leads you to believe AoE composition kind of thing. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure what they're going to go for, but we've seen Froggen put up so many good games on Jace.
And Nivea. It would be incredible to see that. I mean, they did this against Gambit, and as much as, you know, chilled as they were there, that composition actually worked out. So we will be seeing Misfortune, not quite a Nivea, but it's Fizz anyway. Another great champion. We saw Bjergsen playing him earlier. We've seen how much potential Fizz has. See what Froggen can do with him here today.
Yeah, I like how you said that, because one thing that counter Bjergsen, besides being camp middle in the last 2 games, was the fact that any CC he was hit with when he didn't have that playful trickster really locked him down and really killed him, both in a Amumu. With an Aatrox, with a Zyra, you have a lot of control. It allows him to get in and out of fights very easily, and we've seen Froggen on Fizz before, and we're going to see it yet again today.
You can see that Yellow Star swinging his arm around, so he knows exactly what's going on here, explaining to the team why he's going to lock in this Lulu, and it will be that Lulu-Varus duo lane here for Fnatic. So some very interesting compositions coming out from both sides.
It seems like Fnatic, I mean, with the pseudo tankiness they get out of that Lulu ultimate and the Naxxus ultimate, they want to be able to survive that initial burst that EG is going to put down. They want to survive that initiate, and they have a very good composition to do it. I mean, you do see Snoopy go in, then you have that Kennen ultimate to just sit there. If you have the Zhonya's pop that, people get stunned around you, and honestly, Fnatic, that is a fantastic lineup to go against EG right now.
Well, Kennen's, this is going to be a messy one as well. I mean, we saw that against Gambit last week as well. It's kind of hard to concentrate during the team fight because everyone piling in there, doing everything at the same time. Kennen's obviously going to be in there. We're going to see Naxxus right up in the middle of them. And with that Ahri as well, kind of doing the big circle, trying to avoid all that AoE coming out from them. So very entertaining game, I'm sure, coming our way from this one. but it's crunch time for EG. They have to pick up a win here to guarantee the spot at Worlds right now, and also that place in the final on Sunday, obviously tomorrow for those of you that are in Europe. And EG seems to be in high spirits at least. That's a good thing from their side.
Yeah, and one thing that I love about what they changed from the last game to this one is teleport. Froggen is going to be using on Fizz. So we saw Xpeke give them such a tough time. I think he pushed down 3 turrets that game by himself, and they're going to have a counter to that. So they're going to be able to follow him into the fights, and Froggen will be able to duel him quite well if he does get a little bit of an early start.
So here we go, and you can see the crowd here at Gamescom. If you're not part of it already, then well, you're probably missing out a little bit. It's absolutely packed in here. And, well, everyone's been very loud today. I'm sure that there's a lot of EG fans in the audience. We heard it yesterday, how many EG fans were here in their game against Alternate. And I think we're going to get a loud reception for them this time around as well.
I think people in the other halls could hear the audience clapping and cheering over Evil Geniuses yesterday. So we're finally going to get into the game here, Joe, in just a second. I'm honestly excited to see how this one goes. And this is the last chance for Evil Geniuses. They have to win this game, or they're not going to be able to qualify for the Worlds, at least today.
Well, here we go then, into game number 2 as EG take on Fnatic. Fnatic with a 1-0 lead in this best of 3. Crunch time for EG. Can they pull this one out here? That Fizz for Froggen. We highlighted him in our featured matchup, both with him and Xpeke, and he needs to come up big for them this time around. That Fisherman Fizz has got to do the work.
That's a perfect champion to do it on, though, and let's see if you're able to make anything happen as EG, with their strong level 1 damage and a little bit of control that they have, they're being aggressive, they're invading, but it's most likely just going to be for warding, and then they're going to back out here.
Well, let's see, we've got Yellow Star, and look at that, he's down on the bottom side of the jungle, completely alone, no wards to track his path. They walked straight up and stuck a ward in the brush. And EG there, Fnatic feeling obviously very confident on that side of things. He's going to put those 2 wards down, as they did on the top side in the last game. EG going to do pretty much the same over the other side. Ward down onto ward Cyanide's red.
And you saw Yellow Pete, he rushed into that bush. It seemed like they were expecting Fnatic to come through that side of the jungle, maybe to go in with their level 1 research right now, but obviously it didn't work out. But that is a lot to invest into the bottom side of the jungle for Fnatic over on Evil Genius' side, and we're going to see, obviously, Snoopy start on his blue here.
So, in that last game, we saw an attempt to 3-buff start for EG. That didn't quite work out for them. They almost ended up giving away first blood in that scenario as well. But that's in the distant past now. We're into this game, and this is where it really counts. This stage, Fnatic got 4 men down by their blue. They're not going to let this one be taken away.
Yeah, they want to be able to secure this one, definitely. And we do have an interesting lineup. We're going to be in top with the Aatrox versus the Kennen. We're going to have that ability to attack from range with Kennen. And Wicked, who has, honestly, a lot of burst damage early on. We did see Yellow Pete and Crepple come up to potentially harass Cyanide at blue, but that really didn't work out as it was stopped. But look at Soaz, already dropping low.
Yeah, Wicked hammering away on him here. Done so much damage to him, and with that Doran's Blade start, Soaz is not going to be able to get that health back very easily here. We can see that already he's going to be headed home if Wicked doesn't interrupt that one, which means that actually we are going to see Wicked dive into this one. And look at that, flashes away. That was very dangerous play, and funnily enough didn't even use his Ignite there under the turret. Good play out of Soaz to stay safe though.
And Wicked, he invested into a red pot very early on because he wants to be able to push Soaz out, and honestly, he could go for a dive here. He does have Ignite, all he needs at the land is that knockup, and we could see the first death coming in for Soaz.
Well, he's waiting under the tower with this one. There is the jump in. Are we going to see the kill coming down? Yes, we will. Wicked picks up first blood. He's going to have his passive popped here. And we actually have Cyanide coming in around the side. There's the flash, the wither going down. He's got the red buff on here as well, as Wicked going to slow him down, but he should be able to jump to safety. He will jump to safety. EG pick up the first blood.
And that was so much committed, but a fantastic job by Wicked going with that red pot start. It completely worked out for him, and honestly, he's going to have a lot of control over this top lane, and Soaz is going to have to be very careful. I wouldn't be surprised to actually see Fnatic swap lanes out if he does keep having a tough time. But Snoopy now, because he knows where Cyanide is, going to go for a little bit of counter jungling here. And EG getting off to a very strong start this game.
Yeah, Snoopy right up in Fnatic's wolves right now. Certainly not scared to be getting involved in this one. We'll take the big one away, and then we'll head back off, possibly into this mid lane here where he got a chance to actually get in behind Xpeke if the bandage toss is right.
See him coming in right now. Looks like Peke can take some damage anyways from Frog, and here goes the Banish Sauce.
Flashed away from there by Peke. Didn't want to risk that one coming out, but that's flash burn, and we know how vulnerable this Ahri can be up until he hits level 6, where he gets that extra mobility from the Spirit Rush.
Yeah, Frog, he's got to be happy right now. He has control of this lane with that flash being down, not to mention Wicked in the top lane, but we do see Cyanide. He's sneaking in from these bushes. They want to be able to punish Wicked, but with the wave pushing into him, with him having an out with his jump, they're not going to be able to make anything happen.
So a quick start in terms of the first blood. That bottom lane again has developed into Yellow Pete, picking up a nice CS lead over pushing 28-20 currently on that side of things. And in the top lane, Cyanide was actually waiting around for a possible go on Wicked, but honestly, how are you going to lock down this Aatrox with the jump away with that Dark Flight? So hard to get in there. Yeah,
you really can't do that, and right now, Snoopy, he's been powering through the jungle, sitting at level 4, be level 5 very soon, and when he hits 6, he should be able to hit 6 before Soaz even has Flash available again, and he might be able to sneak into that top lane for a gank, but right now, he's going bottom. He's looking for a kill on Pushu.
Wow. They're pretty close to their own turret at this stage of things. You can see that they've not got ward control over the brush, but Yellow Star just waited inside of it. Actually does have a ward there in that top side, didn't quite spot that. So they're going to know anyway if he actually comes over to this other side. But the thing is, EG saw that ward going down. Theirs is going to be timing out first, so they know that Yellow Star has a ward in that bottom brush, and Snoopy will decide to go home. But actually up to level 5 here already now.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of just farming through. I mean, look at the CS difference. It's not huge, but it does play a huge impact as the game does go on. And Froggen on that Fizz, sitting up there in CS actually currently, which is kind of amazing considering they could be auto attack harassed down quite a bit by Xpeke, but that flash, honestly, it's not available, won't have the ability to do it, and a great ward actually coming out of Froggen right there to see where Xpeke could potentially go.
So Yellow Star and Pushu deciding, you know what, let's just take the farm underneath the turret, let's try and keep things here to stay safer from that front. Wicked here up in the top side, Doran's Blade added in, obviously went for that elixir start of things which got him that first blood. And also have Soaz now with a second Doran's Blade added in, some pots as well, which are probably going to be vital to him. We saw how low Wicked got him, pretty much just from auto attacks and the jump in onto him. Yeah, and that's where Aatrox really shines, is in these early levels. Snoopy, he wants to go for a gank towards this top side, but will be spotted by a ward. And yeah, nothing really going to come off of that. But we are hitting that point in the game where ultimates are coming into play here. We do have Xpeke, has his up, Froggen as well, and Soaz and Wicked are both going to be very close to it currently. So those teleports, as we said, the mid laners, that's where, especially as you said, hitting level 6, teleports may be coming into play from this one. Snoopy is currently stood on top of a ward there, so I'd be very surprised if Xpeke actually got caught out with anything.
It's actually a smart play because they know they can't beat them 2v2 if Cyanide did come around to help out. So Xpeke is just going to play it safe, and he's just trying to essentially bait in Snoopy here. He's keeping him here and gives Fnatic the opportunity to have that control around the map, and so he's just going to back out. So a little bit of time wasted, but honestly, it's not bad if Frog gets free farm.
Yeah, not bad whatsoever. Making it a little bit easier for him there. Froggen just backing away on towards his Wraiths as well. Want the extras that he'll get from that side of things. And Snoopy off this blue buff. Probably should be hitting up towards that level 6 mark.
I wonder if they're going to donate over to Froggen, or is Snoopy going to keep it?
It looks like Snoopy might be keeping this one.
I'm actually really curious to see, because Froggen obviously has those 2 Doran rings.
He's tanking it.
Okay, so he is going to give it over to him. He's going to have that cooldown reduction, the regen, and this is where he becomes deadly for Xpeke. He has that constant damage if he goes in and just kind of playful tricks just out every single time.
So Soaz doing a good job here of getting himself back into this lane. He's starting to fall back a little bit earlier on after giving up that first blood. But in terms of his creep score, has got right back on things now. Mid lane is even, bottom lane still has that slight advantage to Yellow Pete, who again, throughout the last few weeks has been doing brilliant when it comes to farming.
Yeah, and we're having a much slower game right now because with what's at stake, with EG being 1 game behind, with Fnatic 1 game away from winning, I wouldn't be surprised if it continues like this for quite a while, but there's going to be a certain point in this game, it's like a ticking time bomb. It's going to explode, and there's going to be a lot of action, a lot of fights breaking out. And we'll have Snoopy hitting level 6 now, so his ganks just became so deadly. Cyanide is 6 as well, so that potential for a very early dragon is always there. But Snoopy did have a ward down on that, so we'll be able to see it coming.
Well, down on the bottom side, people starting to hit 6 here as well. We can see that Yellow Pete already in that position, so he has that bullet time We see Crepo's Stranglethorns become available, Wild Growth, Chain of Corruption, everything that's, it's 4 big ultimates down at this bottom lane that are certainly going to be coming big into play in the coming minutes. Snoopy does decide to back away, not going down to that bottom lane here, going to save that Curse of the Sad Mummy for somewhere else.
And we saw EG, they pulled off their combos so well. I mean, I'm just thinking back to their game versus Gambit where they ran this Amumu in Misfortune, and they said it was like the first time they ran it in a very long time, and they pulled it off so well, just landing the entire combos. I'm curious to see if it's going to happen yet again. We do see Cyanide with that pink ward. He's actually just going to clear out the vision. Doesn't really want to go for the dragon just yet.
Yeah, the problem with that Gambit game was really a zero pressure situation, to be honest. Like, there was not really that much on the line for him. Yes, he decided to seed him whether they'd play against Fnatic or Ninjas in Pyjamas, depending on if they'd have actually ended up winning or losing that map. So that's what is really hard to read into, how they played with this kind of composition against Gambit and how that they're going to really bring it to the table here against Fnatic. Right now, Fnatic are kicking things off on the Dragon. Cyanide has popped his ultimate, cleared out earlier on with that pink ward, and they should be able to get this one away. It's down to half already, but EG seem to have noticed now and are coming up towards his top side of the map. Cyanide getting it very low, is going to pick it up, but is he going to pay the price here? There is Wild Growth going down, and Snoopy actually going to pick up that kill. There was the flash away from Yellowstar to get himself completely out of harm's way. Well, that will be 2-0 EG, but because of that Dragon, Fnatic not so far behind.
Yeah, and that was a lot to commit. I mean, the Mumu ulti coming in as well as the Fizz ulti. So it's not going to be that bad for Frog since he has the blue, but just to lock down one kill, it kind of shows that EG, they want to pick up anything, anywhere that they possibly can. And Wicked, well, Soaz actually, he's actually keeping up in CS quite well, considering he did die as the first blood.
And it's causing some problems here for Wicked by the looks of it as well. If you look at Wicked's health right now, Soaz is managing to hold him out, and that's always going to be a problem against the Kennen enemy. Just the auto attacks and the general harass that he can put down onto you in these early stages of the game is probably some of the strongest in the game, to be honest.
And he's actually loading up that W, so he can do some really good harass onto him. And I expect it, still haven't used that teleporter, neither has Froggen, but they've been farming it quite well, and they did this very well last game, just constant farming. We do see the teleport coming in for Froggen, he's heading bottom here, and this could be a double kill.
Going straight towards that bottom side, where they're going, great flash from Pushu. Yellowstar doesn't have that flash, but there is the Chain of Corruption down. Yellowstar going to get knocked up in the air here. Is he going to be able to survive? No, he's not, but Peke has come around the backside. He's going to dive in towards Crepo. They decide to change up towards Yellow Pete. Pushu going to get ulted here by Froggen, knocked in the air, sniped down by the Zyra passive, and there's the dash away from Froggen to avoid the charm out of Peke, and that will leave with it 2 for 2.
Wow, so much committed for that fight, but such amazing play out of EG. I mean, Froggen, he had his ultimate up, not coming into the fight, but had it just in time to get Pushu locked down. Wow, now 4-2, 12 minutes in, and there's still only a 200 gold difference. You're going to see that replay come in, and they wanted to burst someone off Fnatic down before it could get into this fight. They were pretty much able to do it as Yellowstar was able to fall, but then look at the positioning of EG. Yellow Pete kind of gets caught here, as well as Crepo. Fortunately, able to turn that around fully, but still getting those 2 kills.
And once again, they exchange in that top lane, Soaz and Wicked going at it. The bonus, obviously, that Wicked has to that one is that he does have that Bloodwell, which means that he can fight him under the turret when that's up.
He has Ignite up, but Soaz does have that flash to get away. I'm not sure if he's going to straight go for it, but he can still harass as much as possible with that E, and you're currently really seeing that happen right now.
So, maybe a little bit more of a quieter phase out. Those 2 teleports are down for the mid laners. Just as we were talking about not being used up until now, both of them being called into action down on the bot side. But look at that, XPK. He's played this one very patiently. He's waited this entire time until EG come back into the lane, and they're going to go out on towards Yellow Pete here. Can he get away from this one? He's done decent damage on towards Peke, but not going to be enough with 3 of them there. Pusher will pick up a kill. Perfect execution. Very, very patient play by Peke.
Yeah, and Crepo, he just got back to lane. He just came in with the wards, and Peke capitalizing on that completely. We're going to have Froggen pick up blue, but Fnatic, I mean, they're just playing phenomenally well. Even though they had kind of a bad start with Soaz, dying in that top lane. Well, he actually might die again here, as we do have a 2-man gang squad coming up here.
Certainly looks to be the case. Snoopy and Froggen headed into that one. Actually, ping's going down, and we are now going to see Kennen coming in from the side. Cyanide underneath the turret. Turret actually got a decent amount of health as they are going to go in towards Soaz here. He will pop his ultimate, but he's going to get nommed out. Froggen going to get the kill there. And that will be nicely executed, but can they get even more from this one? Cyanide just backing away a little bit. They're at least going to take this turret. The turret on the bottom lane was obviously taken by Fnatic just a little bit earlier on. That will leave us 1-1 in towers.
This is what I love seeing out of Froggen, just his ability to roam around the map, pick up kills. He's now 2-0-2. He's starting to hit that critical mass point where he almost has the ability to one-shot someone, as that Lich Bane will be coming in very shortly. And Fnatic, they have to stop Froggen. They really do. Obviously, they don't have an insane amount of CC when he does go into these team fights, but they have to control him right now.
Well, let's talk about his opposite number here. Peke, 1-0-2, maybe a slightly slower start, you might say, but has also got more CS in there right now. You can see that actually leaves him ahead of Froggen overall. So once these bigger fights start coming out, we'll see where the focus starts to come down and who's going to be coming up bigger for their team. Let's have a look through the AD carries as well, because Bloodthirster is already done here for Pushu. On the other side, the components of it for Yellow Pete, but not quite got the finished item.
Yeah, he's got the money for it. He just doesn't really want to back out as he does now and picks it up. So we're going to have the AD carries pretty even, but he does have that one Doran's Blade over his opponent. Doesn't have the boots though. Then again with Strut, you don't necessarily need it. Now we have blue buff, don't need it over yet again. Snoopy, I want to know what he's going to build into after this. Maybe go for that Aegis into that Locket. Have that magic resist item, not to mention that extra shield, since you will be basically in the middle of your team.
Well, he's also one of those players who likes to build the more selfisher items, as we've seen in the previous games from him, actually. Now, he's going to make his presence felt down this bottom side, because we've got 43 seconds until that dragon actually comes up into play. Already the pink wards have started to rain in from Fnatic. They've got complete vision control of it right now, of the pit itself as well, with that pink ward sat just outside of it. Snoopy's up on the top side doing his raids, but Fnatic seem to actually be backing away from this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think they want to contest it here, but they know that Wicked's here in the middle, because that top turret is down. They kind of have to rotate over, and EG can get a dragon here. They're going to get a really kind of huge lead, only 16 minutes in, but Fnatic, it looks like they really want to contest it. They want to fight this out, and all it really takes is one good charm followed up by that Chain of Corruption.
Well, let's see. Finally, Soaz is going to start to get in position as the dragon does spawn. Will EG try and rush this one down, or are they going to be setting up a trap from this one? Wow, piercing arrow comes through. There is Peke moving out into the middle as well. Didn't quite know there were two waiting for him inside of the death brush, but they may have just done enough here, you know, with that damage to force EG away. Oh no, there we go, bandage toss coming out, there's a full combo coming through, Fnatic, they're all being destroyed here. This is surely 4 kills coming down for EG, Froggen chasing in, he gets the triple from it, and wow, absolutely amazing coming out. We talked about the combos and what happens if they hit, and EG just did it again.
And that is why it was so impactful at OGN when it started up this season. That was just, wow, just the damage coming out. Fnatic wasn't taking enough to deal with it. They hit very high priority targets, as we're going to see it again here. See Snoopy wait on that sideline. He locks down Xpeke. That's all he wanted to do. Even Crepo flashing in for the Grass Rouge just to keep him there. And that bullet time, not to mention that Wicked knockup, he is not going to escape from that.
Everything, literally everything that they needed to land there was landed. Brilliant, brilliant play from Evil Geniuses, but something that they've got to continue on. They've got to keep landing those combos to keep things pushed up, but that certainly helped them out in terms of gold. It's approaching 3,000 now, the difference. Sadly for Fnatic, you may even see it was better for Fnatic, because I don't think Soaz would have survived much through that burst of AoE combos coming in there either. We see Fnatic here on towards that middle turret. Are they going to go in? Charm actually going through, didn't quite land, but Peke has done a lot of damage there, and he actually did manage to finish off Snoopy on the backside. He got very low, and Fnatic might take the second turret in that mid lane.
But Froggen, he's coming in from the backside. He has the ultimate available as well as Ignite. We could see a kill coming in.
There we go. The fish is going to come out. Is he going to be able to join in? Peke blown to pieces. Froggen will die in the end though. Here is Soaz. They get the stun down onto Crepo. He will be finished off. Double kill for Soaz. And Fnatic now, I think with that, are going to take the turret.
They are. I mean, they had Yellow Pete out of position at that bottom lane, pushing the lane down, and a fantastic job just to turn that fight around. So they lost Dragon. They lost 3 deaths, but they got 3 kills and a turret back. So pretty much even trade across the board for both teams.
That has just leveled the gold up. 27,500 for both teams right now in this. The problem that they have, I think, EG as well, is that Froggen, yes, he's doing brilliantly, there's no doubt about that one, but he's got pretty much in the entirety of the kills right now, which means that he is a massively high priority target. If he gets taken out there as he's going to chase down towards Pushu, We see the chain of corruption come out. Actually, Yellow Pete is chasing around the side as well. He's going to flash in there. Can't quite get the slowdown. And Pusher is able to get away. And a lot used there by EG to try and lock him down.
Yeah, and that was a great flash out of Yellow Pete too, because he dodged the piercing arrow, and the point of that was so he wouldn't lose his shot. Froggen going to be coming from the backside, and if Fnatic stick around, this could be very dangerous. Pusher's already low on half health, and Cyanide isn't that healthy either.
Well, underneath the turret, and just his presence here with Peke then wandering in seems to be enough to stop EG in their tracks. But my point earlier was that obviously Froggen is going to be the big target in these next fights now, and if he goes down, if he gets exploded as quickly as he did in that last fight, even though he did manage to get a kill back, that's probably not enough for EG right now. Yeah, they have to be landing everything.
The thing is, he doesn't want to be the one to initiate. He wants to have, or he needs to have Snoopy go in first just to have that protection. Not to mention Wicked knocking up the high priority targets, followed up with the bullet time. And I think that was just a little bit of, I want to get a kill. I'm 5-0, I want to pick something up, and he obviously was able to get shut down. And he died really fast, so he really needs that Zanya that's picked up soon.
So then, Peke just going to that top lane, and Froggen playing a little bit reminiscent of Bjergsen earlier on in that top lane. He's all kind of just hiding in the brush, stalking your prey almost. Snoopy's down on the bottom side of that top lane as well, so they were just waiting for Peke to make a fatal push too far down this lane to try and head him off there. If you look at the turrets, Fnatic actually nicely ahead on that front at 3-1, and that's something that is maybe a little bit worrying for EG right now, that they've had that control of the Dragon, they've got the kill advantage, but they've not been able to turn that into turrets up until now.
Yeah, and not to mention, you can look on it from the flip side, is that EG has a lot of global gold that they can pick up for free if they just do push these turrets down. And right now, Snoopy, he's already pretty tanky. He has a lot of health built up. They potentially could dive under these turrets if they want to. You still have that two-man gang squad coming inside. I'd have to be very careful if he ever pushes out past this turret.
Can you really kill Cyanide though here?
Yes. Froggen has a lot of damage with that Lich Bane and the AC large rod right behind it.
That's true.
But they don't get it.
They don't get him. They don't see him. That's the problem. Walks on out of that one, and actually is going down towards that mid lane here. That may open up this turret with Snoopy there as well. They're just pushing out this mid lane as well.
They don't have any wards though, like any aggressive wards, and because Fnatic has those two middle turrets down, they can be the aggressor and put the wards down and control EG's jungle, but EG doesn't want to have any of that. They're pushing past it, they're in the jungle of Fnatic, and Wicked picks up a turret himself, so that increases their gold lead to 1,100. And so as he might find the death of him here, because 4 people of EG are waiting on the side.
Well, I'm pretty sure that he knows he can't face off 1v1 against Froggen here.
I think they're trying to catch rotators, but there's currently none coming in.
Yeah, absolutely no one really moving there across the map. Yellow Star, I'm assuming has a... Does he have an Oracle there? If he does, he didn't actually check around onto that corner brush at this point. So if he doesn't have that Oracle on him, you may see that coming up here pretty soon. I mean, we're 22 minutes into the game now. It's the kind of time where, especially with some of these outer turrets all being down, that you need to start having that Oracle in there for the vision.
Yeah, I completely agree. They need to be able to control it, because currently, look how many wards down are for EG. That is a ridiculous amount, and it kind of shows that they want to be able to spot Fnatic. They're investing so much gold and so much time to set these ganks up, but they've been unsuccessful so far.
So a slower part of the game here. And so we mentioned it earlier on that we've seen 2 different EGs already in that quarter-final victory that they have over Alternate earlier on yesterday, where the first game that they lost was the more passive, the older EG style, and they moved on to a lot more aggressive EG style, where they were trying to catch people out there, trying to push as a full unit onto towers and catch their opponents out. And this game's been a little bit half and half, because you've seen both of those sides.
Yeah, and I kind of like it though. It's like a little bit of the new with a little bit of the old out of them. Froggen playing like a heavy assassin, Snoopy kind of playing a support like jungler with this Amumu just to go in and pop that ultimate down. And not to mention Yellow Pete, he did a great job of Misfortune in their game versus Gambit right now. And Wicked is also playing something he enjoys, and you kind of see that. Like when he plays a champion that he's not too fond of or doesn't enjoy playing as much, you see him kind of not get as much farm or not be as energetic. And right now, at 104 with that Blade of the Rune King, that Spectral Cow, and the 200 CS, he really is a huge threat for Fnatic.
So pink ward's put down. The Dragon is in play now. And what are EG going to do? They actually moved up back towards that middle lane. They realized that they'd actually lost sight and lost pretty much everything in terms of position on Fnatic. But look at this, they're going in. Snoopy almost taken down there by Peke's damage. He used the DFG on him. And you know, aside from that DFG, he has the Athenes and Holy Grail. It's not masses of AP that he's got in there right now, but you saw how easily he burst through Snoopy there, and that's gonna give Fnatic this dragon. That's gonna put them in the lead, almost. Okay, right, bang on tide now. That was close.
And the thing was, EG wanted to push the turret. They have a Lichbane Fizz. They can take it down very quickly. So they wanted Fnatic to kind of leave that dragon, go for a defend, and then when that would happen, as Snoopy you saw, he bandage tossed into Expeke, Fortune missed. That's where EG wanted to fight, and they were able to turn that around on him.
So Pushy, we see there on your screen, still unable to claw it back up to Pete's level when it comes to the CS, but got that Bloodthirster, got that last Whisper in there. Other side, Misfortune got that Bloodthirster as well. Going to be headed up towards a Black Cleaver, obviously, for when that bullet time starts coming through to really rip through Fnatic.
Oh, so as you might get caught here.
Are they going to be able to hold on to him? That's a good slow, obviously, that Wicked has got to go in there. Actually, we'll flash in for this one as well. There is the Zhonya's fuse, but it's not really going to help him out much. Wicked swings the sword and takes him straight out as soon as he comes off.
And he is just so strong. You see right there, he's going to be tanking up with that blood well. The rest of EG coming up towards his top side, they're going to get that turret for free. And Fnatic, that is a huge ultimate that they need in these fights to kind of counter Evil Geniuses. I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to push down the middle turret as well and get a little bit of extra gold.
Well, there's a lot of gold in that mid lane available to push that wave up. Make yourself the outer turret, take the inner turret as well. And see, ran straight past that one. Want to push these minions up there, try and limit the amount of damage that they're going to be taking from that one. Snoopy has now finally joined in with the rest of that team, so that little bit of a blip earlier from Peke. Obviously not going to be worrying him too much now. There's a charm though, landing on towards Wicked. DFG was used onto him as well. There's the snipe. Yellow Pete actually finishes up the turret, but the chain of corruption landing on towards Snoopy. There is a bullet time coming through. Froggen getting into the middle of them. Cyanide with a wild growth on him, and his ultimate running is massive there at the back. He's going to have to recall because Fnatic are pushing EG back from this now, with Soaz backing towards the fight. He's not quite going to be slowed down. There's the flashes away actually, and EG running very, very scared from this one. And that's not quite able to get in there for any more, but it just shows you that Fnatic are still able to put up a massive fight in these team fights.
I think that was all due to Expeke too. If you notice what he did, he actually ulted backwards to dodge the bandage toss and the ultimate coming out of Fizz. And because of that, EG didn't get the engage they wanted. They were able to turn the fight around, pick up that kill, and not to mention pick up another turret off of this.
That turret going down. Fourth of the game here for Fnatic. They're still only 700-800 gold behind in this game overall. But it's the combo of EG that's really scary. It's when he gets to that perfect combo that Fnatic are obviously going to struggle.
Yeah, as long as they survive that, if they can make it so they're not engaged upon, and also the big difference between both teams, look where all those kills are allocated. Froggen has 6 of his 10 right now. You look on the other side, you have 2 on a Soaz, you have 3 on Expeke, you have 2 on a Pushu. It's very well spread across the entire team, so now it's pretty much if Froggen dies like we've seen earlier on this game, then there goes a massive chunk of EG's damage.
Well, he's got his Zhonya's now, which obviously makes it harder for him to go down with. But I'm guessing that Peke may end up going up towards the Zhonya's in the near future as well, just because of that. We've got to survive the combo. We've got to survive everything that they throw at us and then push them back with our damage.
Yeah, the thing is he doesn't want to get locked down. And in Ahri, he wants to run free. With that ultimate, those 3 charges just to get around the entire fight and get into the back line of EG, or currently with that DFG, doesn't really need to get into the back line because you saw the damage he did on a Snoopy. And he picks up another Nacy large rod, so that Zhonya's definitely might be coming here.
Pretty much entirety of Fnatic here, just heading back a little bit, as are EG. See what what Cyanide comes back in with here. You do see that Locket of the Iron Solari is already done. On the other side though, not the path that Snoopy's taking.
And Snoopy's been on these items for quite a while, now that I think about it. He's had the Giant Spot and the Health Crystal for, I think, at least 5 minutes right now. He hasn't been able to pick up any major items just yet after the first one, but we do see a Nacy large rod coming in for Froggen. Dragon should be up in the next couple of minutes here, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the next fight, and I think it's whatever team has control of it. If Krepo has an Oracle to clear all the vision or pink wards, then EG can get the control the vision and then force the fights. Or if Fnatic does it, they can do the same.
One thing that's for sure is this next fight, whichever way it goes, is going to bring a decent swing into the game, and that's where we can probably expect a lot more control to be taken by the team that does manage to pick that one off. Up until now, these fights not really been clear-cut, unless, you know, you look back towards that last round where EG piled everything on top of each other, but we saw under the tower that that's not always going to be able to happen for them.
Fortunately for EG, if they had a ward down, they might be able to just kind of go for a shove in the mid lane, which they're currently still doing. We do have the top lane, Pusher and Yostar backing out right now, and EG just kind of forcing them over back towards this middle lane instead of pushing out that top lane and, you know, potentially getting that free turret. But Froggen, he's going to go back to split pushing. He's done a very good job of keeping up with Expected in terms of CS. He's only 10 down right now, and he hurts so bad as well as Expected.
A lot of wards on the map as well. It almost looks as if you turn the fog of war off down there. We can see so much of it right now. Both teams relying heavy on that one. 30 seconds until the Dragon comes into play now. So let's see how both teams react to this one. We currently have Pege pushing out that top lane, Froggen doing the same down bottom, and both of them, of course, have those teleports available. They can continue to do that until they're called in by their team to actually get involved into this. One thing that I'm not sure of is Yellowstar right now. He's on the top side of that map. If he'd have shown himself up there, that would have pretty much guaranteed the Dragon for EG.
Yeah, and I like their game plan. I mean, they're just going for that split push. Froggen, with that Lich Bane, with the amount of ability power he has, he really hurts these turrets. But Dragon, it has come up. EG's in position. Snoopy even invested into an Oracle himself, which allowed Krepo to go for this early Mikhail's Crucible. And honestly, right now, they're going to pick it up for free.
Yeah, Fnatic are nowhere near this one. Absolutely nowhere near it. And they've come down far too slow to react to that one. And that's a great pickup for EG. We are going to see them pushing in here towards Becky. He's going to have to use that Spirit Rush, but Wicked coming down the side. There is the last charge of it. He's going to try and teleport away from this, but he's not going to get away. Froggen bursting him down, and that will leave Froggen at 7-2-2 right now.
And so they get the kill, and they get the teleport out of Expected, so you know he's not going to be able to split push here anymore. And EG, they were kind of setting up for Brand right there, and I kind of like how Snoopy invested into the Oracle with that one kill and the 4 assists he has. And Krepo, that Mikhail's Crucible, as we've seen, you know, Snoopy gets hit with a charm, gets followed up by the entirety of Expected's combo, and he gets very low, but that's going to help mitigate that quite well. Baron is being started up. Snoopy still has an Oracle on him, and I'm not sure they can really take this right now.
Could be a little bit risky. Yellowpete there just taking that piercing arrow. They're going to keep the Baron going. It's down to half HP right now as a ward comes over the side. They've got that Oracle to clear things out, but that's a lot of damage going through. Chain of Corruption actually going to miss, but here comes Snoopy. Wild Growth put straight on towards Cyanide. There is a bullet time from the backside, but Fnatic here, what are they losing? Not too much. It's EG that are actually losing out on it. Wicked is going to go down, and that is 3 kills already. A disaster strikes for EG. They start off the Baron, they take so much poke damage before they leave it, then they lose the fight. They've given this one up.
They really have. They gave up a huge lead. They were able to build throughout this entire game, and let's just see the replay here, just kind of how unfortunate it was. Snoopy, he gets a nice engage, but because of that Lulu knockup, he can't use his ultimate to lock down Pushu. And then Soaz just going in deep, even with the exhaust, locking up multiple members of Genesis, putting out so much damage, and with the Zonius to back it up, he isn't going to take any damage either. And that was just, honestly, a clean play by Fnatic. They took advantage of EG being in a really bad position.
And I'm not sure, because EG's calls up until now, I mean, to execute the composition that they're actually running, you need probably the best calls out of any composition that you're going to run, to be honest. And the thing is, up until now, they've done that really well, but with this one, obviously saw that one didn't quite work to plan. I thought... Peke gonna face check here on towards Froggen, and he's dead. That's a lot of damage, obviously, coming out from the Fizz. You can't do that. You just can't do that.
And honestly, that was a great pullback, because they do have Snoopy's ultimate coming up soon. They can afford to group up and push these turrets down. Even with these double Oracles, it clears out all the vision, and expect he has so much damage behind him, but you have to be alive to do any of that.
Certainly do, and he's got a 40-second spawn timer at this stage of the game. At 32 minutes into it, we can see the Krepo is actually waiting off to the side here, maybe looking for a cheeky strike from the side. They actually get on towards Cyanide, but he's certainly not the man that they want. Wicked obviously got no Bloodwell for now. It's about half off its cooldown as they push in towards this inner turret. As I said, Lich Bane, Death Caps on his for that Fizz. He can rip through these turrets. Really dangerous for Fnatic, and they need to stop him getting anywhere near them.
Unfortunately for them, they aren't able to pick up any turrets off of that kill they were able to get onto Expected. Still, I mean, getting the kill, getting that Baron buff off them is a big win in the end of the day for him. And right now, Wicked has got to be careful here, because you do have the Riley's Crystal Scepter on Soaz.
Yeah, it'll slow you right down. hard to get away from him. Obviously can just jump away from that as well though. And again, we go into the more passive stage once again. Fnatic pretty much having that opportunistic Baron from the last time around. May still not feel strong enough even with that on to be making any big plays of it. I mean, there's only the top lane that actually has a tower outside of EG's base right now. So they've done a really good job of pushing that all through.
I think what they can do though is maybe use a little bit of split push. I mean, they do have that teleport back up on XPK. You have a decent disengage from Lulu with that glitter lance, but they're going to go for this turret here. They're going to get some damage onto it. But EG, I mean, they have decent enough wave clear with that Zyra, with that Misfortune, and not to mention Aatrox.
The thing is though, Fnatic have great poke as well, and we saw that around the Baron that they got on, you know, piercing arrow, throwing the shurikens in there, throwing the charms down. You've got a lot to work with on this Fnatic team when it comes to sieging up underneath these turrets. I think they'll actually end up going for anything or not remains to be seen. And that charm over the wall that they're looking for, basically XPK just spamming it as much as he can in there. As we are going to see Soaz get caught. Will they follow up? No. Gets the shield out of Lulu.
Look how not grouped up they're staying. They're staying really spread out right now, and because of that, it's really dissuading EG from going in for a fight because they can still beat them like head on head with their entire combo. But like you said before, they have to land it perfectly. The call has to be perfect if they want to be able to pull it off.
And where do you focus? Well, I mean, there's obviously higher priority targets, but AD carry and mid laner here pretty much not stood within range. Oh, they are now, but they weren't before. Stood within range of each other when it comes to landing those combos in. And that turret is already down to half HP here. And any damage that Fnatic have been taking, which is not really significant, they've regened anyway thanks to that Baron buff.
And the thing is, EG, they don't need to focus anyone particularly down. All they need to do is just lock them up and let the AoE do the work. If anything, Froggen's going to go into that backline on a push you and try to burst him down since he has no escape mechanism. He has no QSS to drop that ultimate off of him, and he's going to be very careful. His positioning has to be spot on.
Are they going to go for this one? Just trying to push this wave out. Froggen actually going to the front here. Well, look at that. Half HP, half of his health gone right there. That wasn't even with that much in terms of abilities being thrown his way. He's going to back off from that, and that's going to allow Fnatic to get in a bit more damage onto that inhibitor turret. And honestly, Cyanide at this stage is tanky enough to get under that turret for a couple of hits.
If Fnatic pushes in, if they try to take that turret, Froggen is looking to teleport into the side or behind him. He's already pinging it right now, and they might want to catch him off guard, but instead they do just back away. They don't go in for it. But that would have been actually an amazing play if they were able to pull that one off.
Fnatic right now back to where there's a dragon in play, so that will give them a better goal to work with. But at almost 40 minutes into this game, we are still very, very close. A real nail biter here in match number 2. And rightly so, a spot in the Season 3 World Championships is up for grabs in this game. And Fnatic are within touching distance almost of a trip to LA.
And we're at that point in the game, 37 minutes in, where if you do die, you're dead for a while, and that means you're going to lose a lot of things, and that can be a huge gold increase for either team at this point. But we do have a lot of items built up. Yellow Peak going for that standard build when you go for that Curse of the Side bullet time with that Black Cleaver and that Last Whisper. And you look on the other side for Yellowstar, it looks like he's going for Mikhail's as well with that Chalice.
I'm going to look down some of the others. We've got double Zhonya's coming out as we expected here from Peke and from Soaz, so they're able to dodge a lot. Like, if they're in the way of that bullet time and they dodge pretty much the entire channel thanks to the Zhonyas,
oh no,
that means that Pete can't really go head-to-head then with Pushu when it comes to putting that damage out. And that turret is going to get set up on here. Wicked starts to jump in. Snoopy actually coming from the side. REG going to go for this one. Bandage starts coming around, but they've caught Cyanide with that. Here comes Froggen from the side, going to go on towards Yellowstar, who will survive through it. There's the Zhonyas. There's the bullet time. Soaz is going to Zhonyas through the bullet time as well, and they start to back away. Now Fnatic turn around. Peke is unhurt at this point, and the only man to die in that fight up until now was Yellowstar. There's Wicked taking a bit of damage as well. Froggen is still trying to work himself in right off at the side there. Seems like they've done enough to stop this push out for Fnatic.
And that was a great position by Fnatic too, because they saw EOG's at the bottom side of the map. They wanted to rush that inhibitor turret down, and they might still be able to do it here.
Well, they need to be careful of these slows, but they have got it. Oh, look at the damage coming back here out for Fnatic. Wicked gets his passive popped. That was 2 for 1, that little engagement right there. And Fnatic now are just going to have to work themselves away. Are they going to try and stick around for a trap? Oh, that could be dangerous. They've actually been spotted there from that ward. We can see that Soaz headed out of town. Wicked is chasing down despite having that passive pop, got half of his health here from this one. And in the end, they will be able to walk away from that one. But a nice little turnaround, nice little addition there for Fnatic at the end of that fight.
And that could have been so much worse for Fnatic, but expect, if you saw, he hit the charm on Snoopy as he flashed into him, and that allowed him to not get the ultimate down in time to lock enough people and let the rest of Fnatic back away. But right now, Baron is up, Joe. Yellowstar has that Oracle, Crepo has one in his bags, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see a dance happen here.
Well, Fnatic capitalized last time on Evil Genius's attempt to start off that Baron, got it very, very low, took a lot of poke damage before Fnatic swept around and went in there for the fight, pretty much decimating them there as well and picking up Baron afterwards. I don't think EG will make the same bad mistake twice.
No, definitely not. I mean, especially with what's at stake right now. They're just waiting for Crepo to get over here, clear out these wards. So still trying to press some pressure. We do have Expect. He's heading down, it looks like, towards the bottom side of the map after that blue, because he has that teleport available to really apply some pressure onto EG where they have to react. Not to mention, he has inhibitor turret free. There's nothing else stopping him from getting there.
Blue buff taken here for Peke. Those pink wards, the Oracle really doing work over by Baron right now. What is the decision? EG headed off towards Baron Pit. They've now got full vision control of that. Oh, Yellowstar, he's actually walked straight through the brush here, and he's going to go down to Froggen. That's a 50-second spawn timer right now, and that is no wild growth that they're probably going to need for one person to survive the damage if EG combo them.
And Sanity, he has that flash, he has that smite available. We see the teleport coming in, and this could be bad for EG.
Teleport around the side. There is roots coming out, and this time EG decide to stop it before they take too much damage. There you see the difference to that last Baron fight where they ended up all getting killed off. There's a charm going through. Froggen going to take not quite as much damage as I expected, to be honest. Only took one way of the orb. But they're starting to back away. EG are starting to recall here because Soaz, he's been a little bit of a cheeky yordle and headed down. There is Crepo, sniped off by Pusher at the back. Chain of Corruption goes in there as well. Fizz has already left, and Mumu's already left. And EG, what have they done here with this one? They split off completely from one another, and that is going to mean that Fnatic take 2 kills. Wicked is running away to the top. Fizz and Mumu now having to come around to the side because this is a free Baron, and again, like you said, another bad call.
You could see it on the camera. They were like, what are you guys doing? Because 2 went back, 2 stayed, 2 wanted to go for the fight, and unfortunately, the 2 that did stay ended up dying right here, and EG, that is not a good position to be in, but luckily, Fnatic is not going for that Baron.
Not going for it just now. Well, nail-biting stuff here. And you see how important that communication is in these extremely stressful moments. Let's look at it again.
And you completely see it. I mean, Crepo, he gets hit off on the side, gets completely picked off, but Snoopy, he's gone. So is Froggen, and that just means the rest of the team that was left behind ends up going down, and Expeke, who had a brilliant game number 1 on Ahri, is having, honestly, a brilliant game number 2. Even though he's 4-5-5, the charms he is hitting is really making Fnatic win these fights.
So, again, we stack up around Baron. Saw Froggen go down bottom. His teleport's actually going to be off cooldown in just a second here, so he'll be able to get right back into that fight.
He has nowhere to teleport to currently.
He's got no wards down there to teleport to, so we'll see that fixed here in just a second. But the Baron is already pretty low. But look at this Fnatic turning around. They're going to engage on the fight. Snoopy, he's going to get knocked up. Where's the curse of the sad mummy? There it is, but he's a dead man. Bullet time comes around the side. Is it going to be enough here for Evil Geniuses? Wicked gets his passive pop. Yellow P caught by Chain of Corruption. He's a dead man as Peke gets that kill, and they're going to keep chasing through. Peke flashed over the wall. Popped his Zonya's there as well. I think he thought Wicked was actually around the corner from him there, would end up doing damage to him, but in the end, he'd gone the other way. And again, a 3-0 for Fnatic, where they'd already started the Baron, they peeled off it perfectly and ended up getting the kills. Let's watch that again as well.
And look where Crepo is. He kind of stays in the backline, maybe expecting the team to go for engage as the other 4 of the 5 wanted to back out. A great ultimate coming at Snoopy right there, but the damage Yellow Peak does off the back of it is really not that much because Expeke is able to get away from it. Pushu has the barrier, and they just go down 1 by 1. That's a fantastic job by Fnatic to kind of see that opportunity and seize it.
Absolutely amazing stuff. It puts them ahead on kills now, 17-15, and look how that gold total has changed.
They're gonna do it again.
I mean, we're 43 minutes in, and we're gonna almost get an instant replay by the looks of things here. This time though, it's slightly different. Only Froggen is anywhere close right now for Evil Geniuses, and that Baron is going down hella quickly. Froggen gonna try his best here, but look at that. Pushu does take no damage from the ultimate coming out, no damage taken. Baron is going to be picked up here. Fnatic in the driving seat again.
And they have an open inhibitor to take off the back of this. This is really dangerous for EG. They're trying to push all their lanes out before this inhibitor does go down, but a 5-man Fnatic squad all baroned up. Ultimate's coming off cooldown as well. EG has to pull something bigger if they want to build a hold on. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually give this inhibitor up and then try to defend on a turret.
Well, ultimates are coming off cooldown is one thing. The Zhonyas are up for both Peke and Soaz at this stage. That DFG is also there and available. And with that tower down, it's an easy inhibitor. I mean, there's nothing that EG should, I think, in their right minds be thinking about doing that right now. That will put them 7 turrets to 4 in the lead.
We talked about Pusher earlier on, before the game started, on this Varus. His poke, like his piercing arrows have been fantastic. He's been hitting so many of them, and you see how much damage it does to Yellow P. It chunks him down like a fourth of his health, and that's a fantastic way to start off a fight. Not to mention, you have great poke coming out of Kennen right behind it, as well as Ahri.
So here we go then, Froggen with that GA. Have to try and get away from that one. There's a chain of corruption actually landing on towards Krepo, and that's going to actually bait out the Stranglethorns. It didn't do really anything for them, and that's just one less element of that combo that EG are going to need here in this team fight to stop this turret going down. There's a Shaman to Froggen, the GA popped already. Will they follow straight back up from this one? They are right back in there. Bullet time comes from the side. Curse of the Sad Mum is in there as well, but Soaz is shredding them to death on the top side. Snoopy going low. He will bandage toss in, but he's a dead man as well, and that is kills coming left, right and center here. Wicked, he will fall. Triple kill coming out from Pushu, and now it's only Froggen left to keep them alive. Sorry, Krepo's still alive as well.
But that was a great job by Fnatic. If you saw, Yellowstar, he ulted, I think that was Pushu, as Wicked jumped on top of him, stopped the stun from happening. These next turrets are going down. They're going to finish the game.
They are going to finish the game here. Fnatic with some great plays. Actually, Froggen's still alive. Let's not count it out just yet. Zhonya's in there, but he is now finished off, and we can go back to it. Fnatic with some brilliant plays here are going to take down Evil Geniuses 2-0 and go to the Season 3 World Championships in LA.
They are now the first team to, I think, qualify here from Europe as Lemon Dogs again. They still have to play on tomorrow. That's gotta feel good, considering they lost out to Evil Geniuses last year, pretty much almost 1 year ago today, to qualify for Worlds.
Yeah, revenge pure is what that is right there. But it's not over for Evil Geniuses yet. They still, of course, will play a 3rd and 4th place playoff game tomorrow against the loser of Gambit and the Lemon Dogs, which will be coming up right after this game. You can see that these two teams, fierce rivals in game, but very much good friends out of it as well at the same time. And that's great seeing you see that Pushu. He's come into this team, replaced Yellowstar pretty much out of nowhere, to be honest, into one of the world's best teams, into the Spring Split Champions lineup, into at least 2nd place here in the Summer Split now that they've gotten